It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm your host, Kevin McIntosh. Getting straight into our top story for today. Yesterday afternoon, just before 4:30 p.m., firefighters and paramedics from all 6 West Bloomfield fire stations rushed to the scene of a structure fire near Maple and Haggerty. Thanks to their quick response, everyone inside was safely evacuated and the fire was brought under control without any injuries reported. The cause is still under investigation, but this serves as an important reminder just how crucial fire safety is in our homes. One of the simplest and most effective ways to protect yourself and your family is by making sure your smoke alarms are working properly. We recently spoke with Byron Turnquist from the West Bloomfield Fire Department about the importance of checking and replacing old fire alarms. Let's take a look.
The most important thing that I'd like for everybody in the viewing audience to know, take a few minutes today, walk through your house. If you've got elderly parents, walk through their house. Check their smoke alarms, test them, push that button, make sure that it works. If the smoke alarm in the house, if the smoke alarms in your house are more than 10 years old, replace them. If they're discolored and yellow up on the ceiling, they're not as white as the paint on the ceiling, it's probably a good indicator it's been up there for more than 10 years and it needs to be replaced. Older smoke detectors aren't as sensitive, don't work properly, and it's just real important that everybody have working smoke alarms throughout their home.
And having working smoke alarms can mean the difference between life and tragedy. But beyond alarms, it's also essential to have an escape plan. The West Bloomfield Fire Department emphasizes the importance of planning and practicing your escape. Let's hear from them now.
If a fire broke out tonight while you were sleeping, would you and your loved ones be able to get out safely? Take a few minutes to plan your escape from a fire and practice it with everyone in your household. Make sure everyone knows 2 ways out of each room if possible. Have a meeting place away from the home where everyone can meet and call the fire department from outside the home. Remember, get out and stay out. Be safe and have a great day.
And essentially, just to reiterate that, knowing 2 ways out of every room and having a designated meeting spot can make all the difference in an emergency. But if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to act fast, having a fire extinguisher and knowing how to use it properly is definitely key. Here's the West Bloomfield Fire Department with some essential fire extinguisher safety tips.
Here are some safety tips when using a fire extinguisher. Use a portable fire extinguisher when the fire is contained to a small area, such as a wastebasket, and is not growing. Make sure everyone has exited the building, the fire department has been called or is being called, and the room is not filled with smoke. To operate a fire extinguisher, remember the word pass. Pull the pin. Hold the extinguisher with the nozzle pointing away from you, and release the locking mechanism. Aim low. Point the extinguisher at the base of the fire. Squeeze the lever slowly and evenly. Sweep the nozzle from side to side. Remember to follow these tips and continue to be safe out there. Thank you for watching and have a great day.
A fairly easy way to remember how to use a fire extinguisher during a fire emergency, the PASS method, P-A-S-S, pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep at the base of the fire. But most importantly, if a fire ever seems too large or too dangerous, do not take the risk. Get out of that structure of that home and call 911 immediately. We once again want to send a huge thank you to our firefighters and first responders for keeping our community safe, and to the West Bloomfield Fire Department for sharing those life-saving fire safety tips. You can visit them on Facebook to find out more tips and keep up with them at WB Fire Department for more information. The West Bloomfield Police Department is celebrating 2 well-deserved promotions. After 19 years of dedicated service, Lieutenant Brian Tash is stepping into a new leadership role, while Sergeant Nick Foster, with over 5 years on the force, is also advancing as sergeant. Both officers have contributed to multiple divisions within the department and are eager to continue serving and protecting our West Bloomfield community. Their commitment to West Bloomfield has not gone unnoticed, and their leadership will be instrumental in the West Bloomfield Township's department's future as well. You can personally give your congratulations to Lieutenant Tash and Sergeant Foster on their Facebook page at West Bloomfield PD, so that you can tell them congratulations as well. Show some love and support. The Winter Reading Challenges is getting close to the finish line, ladies and gentlemen. Time is running out for the West Bloomfield Township Public Library's Winter Reading Challenge. With the program ending this Friday, readers are encouraged to keep turning those pages over midwinter break so that we can all reach our reward goals. So far, as an update, the community has reached an incredible 522,981 reading minutes. That is an increase of almost 200,000 minutes from last month. So if you've been tracking your reading, make sure you keep up with it and you submit your final reading minutes before the deadline of this Friday. Don't forget, rewards are also available for pickup until Friday, February 28th. And you can keep up with everything the West Bloomfield Township Public Library has to offer, programs, initiatives, and other reading challenges. Go directly to their Facebook page, West Bloom LIB, or make it easier, go directly to their website, wblib.org. There's an upcoming coffee and conversation event giving you a chance to speak with your local state representative. It'll be hosted by Senator Rosemary Bayer. And actually joining me right here live on the Splash to talk a little bit more about this event is the senator herself representing Greater West Bloomfield, Senator Rosemary Bayer. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Kevin, it's a delight to be here. You know, I live in West Bloomfield, so plus we're on Zoom.
Absolutely, and we appreciate you for being here. First and foremost, we value your time. We just want to talk about this event first and foremost and the actual purpose of it. So let's get into, what are some of the biggest concerns that you've been hearing from some West Bloomfield residents in general?
Thanks. Well, I will tell you, we are really excited to have coffee. Come and join us on Friday at 11 at the library, at the main branch library. And we'll talk about whatever the folks in the room want to talk about. That's how we do our coffee hours. It's always about who's there and what are the topics of the day for folks that are in the room. For now, I will tell you that the things that we work on are things that most of you are involved with in one way or another. We call ourselves the Lakes, right? The Lakes area. Almost everything we do in West Bloomfield has something to do with the water. We are spending a lot of time working to help make things better, easier for people to access the water, make sure we protect the water, make sure that the road work is also relevant to the water, right? We always want to make sure that conversation includes our water, our lakes, taking care of our lakes, and the beautiful environment that we work so hard to maintain in West Bloomfield. So it's really, really important to me. We have a number of pieces of legislation in the works, but things that were already there that we use to try to help protect and take care of the resources that we have here. We really are lucky. And sometimes I'll say that people, you know what, I think my district is more water than land. It feels that way sometimes for all of us, right? You drive down from one side to the other of the township and you pass like 17 lakes and there you go. So that is a huge part of it. Happily, that is one of the main reasons that I ran for office in the very beginning, 6 or 7 years ago. I wanted to protect water. So this is in my soul, and that's why I wanted to move to West Bloomfield, and I live here now, and I love it. I got water in my backyard.
Right. And it's a great opportunity, like we said, for local residents to actually come and have their voices be heard. Anything that they want to discuss or anything that they want to find out from their local senator, this is that great opportunity for them to do that at Coffee and Conversations. Now, I want to talk about any upcoming legislative initiatives that will directly impact West Bloomfield Township and the surrounding communities that you can share with us.
Well, we're working on a couple of things. A lot of them have to do with water. I will say that again. We have literally a major package of bills that are all about protecting groundwater, protecting our water resource, our drinking water, our water resource in general. We also have a set of bills that are specific to setbacks and making sure that our construction, our development, things that are going on, things that could potentially be harmful, like landfills or water treatment and things like that, have even wetlands to have a far enough back setback to protect those spaces to make sure that we continue to protect that water. So that's a big piece of it. I also one of the other major regions I ran was about education and education funding, and so much of my work is on budget specifically, both in health and human services, specifically mental health, as well as the school funding. So I chair 2 of the 3 school funding committees, and I'm on the 3rd one. It is a primary part of our work between now and the end of June, when we'll get the budget done for the 2026 year. So things are really hectic right now, but we are focused on doing everything we can to increase funding, especially for schools. We are looking at a pretty good increase for this year. For next year, we should be able to get over 10,000 per pupil as a base. And then things that get added on to that are the things that we continue to focus on, making sure that we take care of details of supporting students that need extra support, making sure that people get transportation if they need it all, and safety. We have a big push on safety in schools, as well as our community, of course, but also mental health. It seems to be probably the most important thing that we're doing, and that was the 3rd thing that I ran for office for. Just so happens I'm snared in all of those major topics of the day, and I'm glad to be doing it because it's impacting all our people here in West Bloomfield, I think.
Correct. And that just lets me know that you are taking into consideration some of the things that you've already heard, the concerns from some of the residents, and just being ahead of the curve, like we said, mental health being one of the top concerns just in school and just in life in general. So we are happy that you're a part of those types of initiatives as well. I want to speak on a few other key concerns that may be affecting local residents: infrastructure and public safety. You spoke on safety briefly also. What steps is the state taking, to improve roads, public transportation, and emergency services in our area?
Yeah, so it's interesting. This year will be the first time in a very long time where, if we are successful in this budget negotiation that's underway now, we will be putting a significant investment in local roads for the communities, including West Bloomfield. So typically that's not something that happens at the state level. We tend to have a certain amount of funding that goes to the local government to use as they see fit. It's written in the Constitution primarily. Then there's some discretionary funds that we'll put in depending on how much money we have in the budget. But this year there's actually going to be a big bucket that is very focused on local roads, because we know, we put a huge amount of energy. Our governor ran on roads 7 years ago and put a lot of effort into the highways. You all have lived through some of these major road constructions. I know everybody's been seeing that. But now this time, we've heard it from everyone. We have to do something about our local roads. I mean, there's subdivisions that you can barely get across in a car, right? And you almost have to have everybody get a Jeep or a 4-wheel drive vehicle just to get in and out of their own little streets. So we know that's a top issue, and we're going to really focus on putting more money in. It's really fundamental. And it goes directly to the community, so the community decides, here are the most critical things, right? Not having somebody in Lansing who doesn't live here make that decision.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
No, great point.
We're excited about that. I mean, this is a very classic case of listening to where we are, right? And what is it that people are most worried about? And I do think schools, mental health, and roads are really high on that list, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would wholeheartedly agree as someone who commutes himself and just deal with the outside pressures of things, understanding mental health and the importance of it. We appreciate those efforts. Once again, with us right here live on The Splash, Senator Rosemary Bayer talking about the upcoming Coffee and Conversations event that'll be happening Friday, February 21st, 11 to 12 p.m., at the West Bloomfield Library. meeting room. Now, I want to kind of get to that very briefly. Don't want to hold up too much more of your time. I want you to explain the role that the community plays on shaping your legislative priorities, and how can residents become more involved in policy discussions in general?
It's interesting. We really pay attention when people call. I mean, this is truly the most important part of the job, is this district, the constituents and the people that live here. My job is to listen, understand what people are looking for, what people need, and work on those things. And even we had a single call from a person late last year. His wife died. She was killed in a traffic incident with a person who was 94 years old. And the question of, is that an appropriate time to still be driving? And because it was certainly the elderly person's fault in the accident. And so we have been doing research, and we've been working with people in other states and working with our legal resources. And we are going to submit a bill that actually will change the rules about driving when you get to be over 80. There's a lot of data that we found nationally and in the state on what happens to your driving records at those ages, and what should we be doing as a state to make sure that people really are okay to drive as they get to those higher ages. And I'm not talking about 65, I'm talking about 80. You know, we all know people who are, I'm 66, but I'm a good driver.
Right.
Everybody will say that, right?
Right.
But all the data shows that 75 and 80 are the breaking points on when things start to happen. So we're actually working on that. And even though it was only one person, the fact that that person called us and we went and dug into the issue and went, holy mackerel.
Yep, good point.
You know, nobody's even paying attention to this. And we went and looked at all the national data and thought, geez, we really should start to look at this differently. So that is a significant thing. And that was one person's phone call. So we are always paying attention. We will always respond when somebody calls us and asks for something. Sometimes we can't do it, but doesn't mean we don't want to.
Correct. Correct. And that's just, like you said, just one example of someone who took the initiative to go ahead and reach out to you in regards to their concerns, and then the efforts that you're putting in as a result of that. So that should encourage residents to make sure they reach out to their local senator and attend events like the Coffee and Conversation happening Friday, February 21st at the West Bloomfield Township Main Library meeting room. Before we let you go, Senator Bear, any additional messages you want to get out to the community regarding this event, or just in general we should be aware of?
In general, I think, we are always doing something, right? I'm in the district all the time. We do have to go to Lansing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, but the other days I'm in the district. And you'll see, if you look at our Facebook, if you follow, I am always posting pictures of things that we're doing. But we're also always we have bigger gatherings, town halls and summits and things like that. If you go to our website, you can scroll in there and sign up for our mailing list. We don't send out a lot of mail, but you'll be able to hear when things are happening, or you can follow us on Facebook or Blue Sky or one of those kind of social media things, and you can see what's happening. I want to have you an opportunity to meet you in person and to talk directly. That is really great. We really appreciate it. We appreciate the input that we get from those live interactions. And give us a call anytime. We helped 7,000 people with unemployment challenges as we all went through COVID in 2020 to 22, in that space there where everybody was struggling. We are very powerful and focused on helping the people in the district. So that's why we want to hear from you. That's why we hope we'll see you, and call anytime.
And we thank you so much for all the work that you do and for representing us right here in the 13th District in Greater West Bloomfield. Once again, Michigan Senator Rosemary Bear, we appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Kevin. It's great to be here with you today.
An event to look forward to right here in our West Bloomfield community. Once again, Senator Rosemary Bear hosting Coffee and Conversations. That'll be Friday, February 21st from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library meeting room. For more information, go to the library's Facebook, West Bloom LIB, or go directly to their website, wblib.org, for more information. West Bloomfield was recently named an honored community in the eCities 2024 project, highlighting its excellence in economic development, entrepreneurship, and business growth. But what does this actually mean to our township in general? Let's go into that a little bit more. Right now, we are being joined by West Bloomfield Township's supervisor, Mr. Jonathan Warshay. Thank you for being here, Mr. Warshay.
Thanks, Kevin. I'm happy to be here.
And we are happy to have you here. We know you are very busy, so we appreciate that. I just want to talk about this in general. This was a very interesting award and recognition that I saw online. What does this eCities 2024 recognition mean for West Bloomfield?
Well, what the award means is they've measured data in 54 Michigan counties. They look at property values, property tax information, governmental assets. This year, they also looked at talent attraction and retention and efforts to support small business. Okay. And 5 stars means that West Bloomfield is strong in this area and leads with best practices.
Nice. First and foremost, congratulations. That's a beautiful thing to know. Small businesses and businesses, they help with our economic growth. They provide jobs and they just make our economy look good. So to be a 5-star ranked city with that or community, it just speaks volumes. And with that, how do you feel like that reflects our overall economic growth over the past 5 years?
Well, the township has certainly had strong economic growth. We work to encourage new businesses and development within the township. We use diversified hiring techniques. We participate with local colleges and universities and even high schools to spark interest in certain high-demand fields such as police and fire. We often pay the training costs for our candidates, and when we do hire, the employees generally stay a long time as we have very competitive salary and benefits in the area.
Okay. So I once again, like I said, I think that speaks to how great not only is our residents in supporting these businesses, but the resources that are provided for our businesses for this growth. Are there any other specific initiatives or policies that you could speak on that actually help West Bloomfield stand out and receive this type of recognition?
I think, in terms of what's going on now, we're working on our master plan as we speak. We started last year the review of the current plan and how we want to proceed. Residents were asked to participate in it a couple months ago. We had an online survey where they could put areas where they wanted to indicate what they wanted to see in those areas, what type of development, what type of businesses. We're mostly built out in the township. We certainly have lakes and woodlands that we're preserving, but the rest of the buildable area is mostly built. So we're concentrating on vacant areas, vacant buildings and properties to attract those businesses.
Great. And I think it's important to make sure that we are giving and doing pretty much anything that we can to make sure that we are retaining these talented professionals. I want to speak on that coming up. With me right here live on The Splash, by the way, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor, Mr. Jonathan Warshay, speaking on West Bloomfield Township recently being named an honored community in the eCities 2024 project by University of Michigan Dearborn College of Business, by the way. Now, kind of picking up on the retaining of the talents, how do you feel like West Bloomfield is working to retain and attract these talented individuals who are starting these businesses? And what industry specifically within our economy are you seeing the most growth in?
Well, there was several questions, so I'll try to answer all of them. In terms of attracting them, we do a lot of online sourcing. I assume most communities do that. There's a lot of word of mouth, social media. In fact, I saw someone on one social media app saying she's a recent graduate of the university in criminal justice and she'd love to work in a police department. So I messaged her and said, West Bloomfield is hiring for police, so, please apply. So, anything we can do to attract talented candidates, we'll do. we have dispatch, police, and fire, paramedics. Those are the areas that all the communities in the area are noticing shortages in. And so we unfortunately have to compete with our neighbors to get the best candidates.
Right. Great point right there. And I like that you're meeting people where they are. Like you said, you even went to social media and just responded to a message just to present that opportunity that is actually going on right here. So great way to reach out and find these talented individuals that are looking for these opportunities as well. AI has been a very trending topic of discussion in business and just in general. The use of AI in economic development recently has been helping a lot of economies and communities grow. How has West Bloomfield leveraged AI or technology in general to help support local businesses?
So we haven't really adopted AI yet. We're certainly looking into that. In my last role, I was a project manager, so I'm working to implement those processes in our IT department to help it deliver services more effectively. It's basically each department is a customer of the IT department. So we want to make sure their needs are met. And I'm also working with all of our departments on how our IT department can streamline and improve their operations.
Great, and it's great, and I thank you for being honest about that. Yes, it may not be implemented now, but it's something that we pretty much can't ignore. AI is here, it's here to stay, it's going to continuously grow. So just finding different ways of how can we effectively and efficiently use this to support our government and our local businesses is completely understandable. Thank you for providing that insight with that. And once again, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor, Mr. Jonathan Warshay, just talking about West Bloomfield Township being named an honored community in the eCities 2024 project by the University of Michigan Dearborn's College of Business. Just a couple questions before I let you go, Mr. Warshay. I do want to ask just for perspective, right? How does West Bloomfield compare to other communities in Michigan when it comes to job growth and infrastructure and economic growth?
Well, we are one of the top communities for growth, given our size. We keep increasing the number of homes, apartments for residents to move to. Mm-hmm. And that certainly drives the demand for services and goods from the businesses. So that helps increase the numbers there. We are also one of the safest communities in the state and one of the most affluent. And those are factors that businesses look at when, mm-hmm. When they're looking where to locate or expand.
And I think that's perfect. Once again, speaks to why we were named one of the honored communities in the 2024 eCities project in general. We want to go ahead and let you go, sir, but any additional information that you want to let the community know as far as goals for strengthening West Bloomfield's economy or just anything in general?
Just that our departments are focused on serving the residents and the businesses, and we'll keep working on that and working to make things even better than they are.
And we appreciate everything that you and your office does to help our economy grow and help our community and our local businesses in general. Once again, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor, Mr. Jonathan Warshay. We appreciate you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Knowing his time is very valuable, we thank him for coming and explaining exactly how valuable this recognition is, being honored by University of Michigan Dearborn College of Business for eCities 2024 project. Great recognition right there. Few more things for us to recognize that are going on right here in our greater West Bloomfield area. We'll hop into that coming up. We are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Good nutrition can help make sure you have enough iron, calcium, and vitamin C in your body, which can make it harder for lead to enter your bloodstream. Help protect your family from the harmful effects of lead.
This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
What people are watching in Sylvan Lake, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. We appreciate you for being here. I'm your host, Kevin McIntosh. Now, you can reach your new health goals with a brand new fitness destination right here in West Bloomfield. It's called Body 20, and it offers whole body electromuscle stimulation workouts delivering results equivalent to hours in the gym in just one 20-minute session. It seems very high-tech, seems very advanced, and it seems like that is out of my knowledge realm. So joining us right here, live on The Splash, is the franchise owner for the Body 20 West Bloomfield. We have Krupa Patel. Thank you for being here, Krupa.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here. I'm very intrigued by this technology, this process, and just the overall business in general. So can you just talk to us about what inspired you to open Body 20 as a franchise right here in West Bloomfield?
Yes, absolutely. Health and fitness has just been such a big part of my life from such a young age. I think I joined my first gym at 16. And essentially, it was this drive to optimize my health. And I always was looking for the research, the data. And so as I went into my 20s, my 30s, and 40s, that followed, it evolved. And one of the things I noted is that my family and friends would always come to me with questions. And I was happy to do that research for them. And fast forward, I'm doing my 9 to 5, and our son in 2020 got diagnosed with brain cancer. And during that time, our life completely evolved and changed. And so one of the exercises that we're constantly doing to stay present is, what is our full fulfillment? What is our passion? What is going to make us happy? And that essentially came back to, I love health and fitness. I love just optimizing my own health. And that was something that I was like, okay, I have to find a way to bring it to the community. I did some research on EMS training and Body 20, and it was an absolute no-brainer that this is what our community needs.
All right. I love that. I'm a fan of fitness and health, and I consider myself a conscious eater and things. But I think stuff like that is becoming more prevalent, more to the forefront in our community socially, of being more conscious of your health, of fitness and stuff in that area. So I applaud you for providing another resource, another place that we can look forward to reach our health goals right here in West Bloomfield. Now, with that being said, let's get into the technology part of this. This EMS technology, the electromuscular, I don't even want to necessarily disrespect it, but can you just explain how this EMS technologies differ from traditional workouts?
Yes, absolutely. So the electrical muscle stimulation, it's a suit, so it targets all of your main muscle groups. And people are probably not aware, but in PT, you do E-stim. So there's also the little massager that you can buy. You've probably been to an expo where it's a little electrical pad that you put on, and it helps with, just contracting those muscles to help. Usually it's for pain relief. But so we've been exposed to all of that for many, many years. Now with the suit, essentially you put the suit on, it will contract your muscles at around 10,000 more percentage than you would just doing your typical bicep curl, say. So walking you through a 20-minute workout is equivalent to hours in the gym. So depending on, because we will curate depending on what your needs are. When you come in, there's, someone might say, I have a weight loss goal. Someone might say, I want to optimize my time in this triathlon. And someone might just say, I'm going into my 40s and I want to ensure that I'm able to open the door in my 70s and 80s and just ensure my bone, my bone density, my muscle mass, everything has been preserved.
Please continue, please.
Yeah, sorry. And what really sets EMS apart is that it's low impact nature. It really allows members to activate 90% of your muscle mass without needing the heavy weights. The means basically people can enjoy working out safe and having effective workouts and achieving the same exact benefits as ours in the gym. And so, I mean, I truly think EMS is paving the way for fitness, and you can, truly add it on to all of the other things that you enjoy.
One thing that I like about it is the fact that we're incorporating technology into. I feel like that's one of the few things that's been around for so long, fitness and working out and exercise, that hasn't necessarily incorporated technology as much as other things has. So moving on to an electromuscular stimulation suit, if I said that correctly, I think that's a great way for us to kind of look at exercise and working out in the future and what it's going to look like. So I applaud you for that, for even diving deep into that and providing that right here in our area. Now, with that being said, are there any misconceptions about this EMS suit or this EMS workout that you would like to maybe debunk now?
Yeah, I think a common misconception about EMS training is that you can't achieve the same results in just 20 minutes. You think just 20 minutes, I go to the traditional gym for hours, like how is that the same? Another misunderstanding is that EMS training is only for beginners, simply because the sessions are shorter, and educating our members on EMS training is essential. So we highlight that top 10 benefits to introducing first-timers to its advantages. And some of those benefits, like I mentioned, is building those lean, dense muscles, reducing your back pain by, giving your core that workout that it needs, and offering a low-impact, joint-friendly workout for members.
Right.
And Body 20 is truly for everybody. And so that's another misconception, because it's like, well, that's for someone, because time is the biggest luxury, I think. And so being able to do something in 20 minutes, and that can mean different things to different people. So for a mother, that might just be like, I need to fit this in. And when everything happens, the first thing I let go is myself. I will not do that workout, but I will go run around and do all of these things for every member of my family. And then maybe for someone that is very active and enjoys doing hot yoga and Pilates and loves going for long walks or a run, they don't have time to be in the gym 3 times a week doing strength training, as well as all of those things on top of their 9 to 5 or their family obligations. So giving back time, I think, is essential. And again, it's for everybody. Our clients range from stay-at-home parents to older clients with previous injuries to elite athletes.
There we go. There we go. A wide range of demographics, uses, purposes. The main thing that stood out to me, that I like the point that you made about our time. It's what we can't get back. And usually a lot of people say, it's not enough hours in a day. If I go to the gym, I got to work out for at least an hour or 2 hours and such and such. But if you can do all of this within 20, 30, even 40 minutes, and it feels like you worked out for 4 hours, just think about the other things you can accomplish with that time that you save by not having to go to the gym. So I think that's a great point. And once again, that just speaks on how technology is helping advance and make things a little bit more easier, convenient, as it should, first and foremost. But with us right here live on The Splash, by the way, franchise owner for Body 20, West Bloomfield, Krupa Patel, talking about the benefits of whole body electro-muscle stimulation suits and workouts, and how you can get hours of working out within one 20-minute session. One thing I want to ask you about, let's just be real. For any of our viewers and listeners, can you share, is there any example that you could share with us of success coming from a Body 20 fitness session? Any pure examples of somebody doing that and coming and just transforming and reaching their goals?
Yeah, so there's another franchisee owner in Colorado, and I originally met him last January, and I had no idea. Well, I knew that he was a member at another location in Texas, and he was just retiring, and this was something he wanted to do, and he was a member, and he loved it and raved about it. I just recently saw his before and after picture, and I cannot, like, I was in disbelief. I also have a college friend, a really good friend of mine that I went to college with. She has 3 kids. She owns her own medical practice, just a lot on her plate. And her husband's also an entrepreneur. So timing is just a big logistical thing in their household. She's always been very fit. She does everything that you're supposed to do by the books. She was very frustrated that I'm still not seeing what I want to see after having her third. And her and I actually did this coaching program, this online coaching program, and she lost about 5 pounds. But she actually looks, I don't even want to say like she did in college, because in my opinion, she looks better than she did in college. I mean, her skin is radiating. She has her 6-pack. She just looks incredible when she's posing in a picture. She's not flexing, and you can just see her muscles in her arm, and it's just this beautiful lean muscle mass. And those are the 2 people that really stand out to me. I know that not just from a physical aspect, I've heard a lot about just what, the EMS training has helped them mentally, because taking off that burden and load of I need to go do X, Y, and Z and be in the gym for so many hours, and being able to check it off in a shorter time really allows a big shift in their, mental load.
No, good point. Great point. And thank you for sharing that example too. Body goals. That's what we all are here for, more importantly. Hey, don't want to hold you up too much longer. Lastly, just give out any last messages for the community, and where can they find and get more information about Body 20 West Bloomfield?
Yes, so we are going to prepare for our pre-sale. Honestly, I can sit here and talk for hours until I'm blue in the face about the technology, about the science. This is something that truly, either doing an arm demo or doing an actual complimentary session, it is hard to explain until you actually get into the suit and I walk you through, the initial demo that you're like, wow, that was such a short time. It's a 10-minute demo, and you're wondering what's going to happen in 20 minutes and how will I feel and look if I continue to do this for a couple of months.
All right. Yes, I can't wait. Make sure we all support Body 20 West Bloomfield, a new fitness destination for us right here in West Bloomfield, located on Maple and Haggerty. Once again, want to thank you, franchise owner for Body 20 West Bloomfield, Krupa Patel. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Another business owner, local business owner, making a difference, adding to the economic growth, providing jobs, and also giving us another destination to reach our health goals. Find out more information, body20.com. That's body20.com. The West Bloomfield Rotary Interact Club is making a real impact, both globally and locally, through its support of ShelterBox, an organization dedicated to providing disaster relief worldwide. But what exactly is Rotary, and why are high school students getting involved? To talk about their efforts and how the community can support this cause, I'm being joined by Ginger Winter from the West Bloomfield Rotary Club and Neil Kamath from the Rotary Interact Club. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
We appreciate this first and foremost, and I just want to kind of talk to you both about Rotary Club in general and your 2 clubs, the Interact Club and Rotary Club itself. Starting with you, Ginger, if you don't mind, let's just give a brief overview. What is Rotary, what is the Rotary Club, and why are high school students involved?
Well, Rotary is a club that is service-oriented. They have people from the business world, people who are in education, all different people who care about service for others. And Rotary is the adult club, but we also have Rotaract in a lot of the universities, such as University of Michigan, Oakland University. they have a club called Rotaract. Rotaract many times will take trips where they'll go to places like Haiti. They'll teach people how to clean their water so that they are stay healthy. There's a lot of things that Rotaract does. But before that, in the high school, we have clubs called Interact. And those Interact clubs are students, and we're teaching them how to do service things in the community, but also in the larger world.
Interesting. I like how you broke that down. From my perspective, I kind of see it as Rotary Club being the main club, but then you have some like development clubs right underneath that as you get to that level of being, out in the, I guess the real world, dealing with the real world situations that the Rotary Club does internationally, not just nationally, but internationally. So that's very, very interesting to learn and to find out. And with that being said, Neil, I'm coming over to you from your perspective also. How do you feel the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield, the Interact Rotary Club of West Bloomfield, involvement in supporting local organizations or partnership like Shelterbox, which I see that you all are partnering with? How does that shape the students' understanding of global and local services?
Right, of course. So Interact Club, as Ms. Winter said, is the high school version of Rotary Club, and we work closely with them to develop these events. So they help us generate ideas and fundraisers for various causes. So Shelterbox is one of our main causes where we help set up stands for Shelterbox within the high school and at high school events. Like first and foremost, we set up at our family fun night at West Bloomfield. We actually brought a Shelterbox in and we set one up. And we had our Interact Club members give tours of the Shelterbox and try and kind of sell and try to raise some money and donations for this great initiative of the Shelterbox, which is basically a small shelter which are set up for those in needs when their homes are destroyed in natural disasters such as the Palisades fire or hurricanes. And so, yeah, our Interact Club members, they gain this kind of connection to Shelterbox and to the greater world by understanding, like, they're giving the tours and then they're selling and trying to sell Shelterbox, and they're showing people all these tools and how it's been helping around the world. And so that kind of just allows them to learn more about all these initiatives that are going around in the world, and then kind of just give back to the community and let the community know. And it's just a really great learning experience to understand, what is Shelterbox, and then how can we help them, and how can we connect it to our local community. And yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I gotta kind of consume that a little bit more. So a Shelterbox. Shelterbox is if I'm not mistaken, it's essentially an entire organization. It's a whole nother organization that Rotary partnered with. And essentially they provide a giant box that'll have a bunch of different essentials in there, from a tent to flashlights and batteries, a shovel, and I would imagine so many other things in between that to help people adjust to possibly losing their entire lifeline, their entire livelihood through natural disasters, like you said, whether that's domestically right here in the United States or internationally. So I would imagine that helps the students understand a little bit more about the world news and world issues overall, would you say?
Exactly. Perfect. So yeah, understanding those natural disasters and how we can help is exactly what Shelterbox is about. And, making a difference in the greater world and not just our local community.
Okay. So now we're starting to get to the meat and bones of it. I want to break this down a little bit more. Ginger, with you now, because I want to talk about that Shelterbox a little bit more. It seems like there's a lot of different essential pieces and parts that go into these Shelterboxes, and they're getting shipped off everywhere. So I imagine there's some sort of financial responsibility tied to this also. In what ways can the greater West Bloomfield community actually help fund or build these Shelterboxes, or even just help the Rotary Interact Club in general?
Well, there are people, anybody can purchase a shelter box, or they can purchase, and they can do it online. All they have to do is look up shelter box or Rotary shelter box online. It'll come up, and there's different kits that they can purchase. Our Interact kids are purchasing $1,000 of a total shelter box. But there are areas that have smaller kits, like for $100 or whatever, depending on, is it a flood, is it tornado, is it a war, what is going on? And then the people that run the shelter box company in London decide what the needs are. And then they send that to the area that's afflicted. And at that time, the Rotary Club steps in and delivers these shelter boxes to people in need.
Nice. I love how that works. It's a system. It's a collaborative effort also, like we said, and with it being essentially two international clubs and organizations that are doing things to help people everywhere. But I love how we have that tie right here in West Bloomfield. So thank you for providing that insight. And with us right here live on The Splash, by the way, we have a member of the West Bloomfield Rotary Club, Ginger Winter, as well as member of the West Bloomfield High School Student Rotary Interact Club, Neil Common, talking about shelter boxes, their partnership with shelter boxes, and what we can do right here in Greater West Bloomfield to help support people in need with those shelter boxes as well. Ginger, kind of going back to you, I want you to expound on a little bit of this global issue with the local tie that we have. How does Rotary's partnership with Shelterbox specifically strengthen those ties between our local club here and then the international relief efforts?
Well, the shelter box idea was started by a man in Rotary. And then they collaborated with this company that makes the shelter boxes. There's 7 different places where they're deployed close to where the emergency is, be fires or tornadoes or whatever it is. And we are letting our West Bloomfield people know about this, because as we have more problems with many different things going wrong with our climate, we need more and more of these. And so you, as a person listening today, you can write a check and it will go to our Rotary treasurer. And I'm going to put up a sign with the information on so you can copy it down so you can help with this ongoing effort that we are making. This is the sign where you can write a check to West Bloomfield Area Rotary Foundation. And it's 3994 Fieldview Avenue, West Bloomfield, Michigan, 48324. And on that check, where it says meant, you can put shelter box in the memo.
Yes. No, perfect. And it's an opportunity for our viewers and our listeners. If you're listening on 89.3 Lakes FM, she just held up a sign. Essentially, if you are looking to donate, you will go to the West Bloomfield Area Rotary Foundation, that address 3994 Fieldview Avenue in West Bloomfield. And if you are writing a check, make sure you put in the memo shelter box. That is one way that you can help donate to the efforts of West Bloomfield Rotary Club and Interact Club with their shelter boxes. Thank you for providing that visual and that information as well, Ginger. So Neil, on the student side of things, asking you and inquiring about you, with this specific shelter box initiative and campaign, what skills or values do you believe or have you personally gained by participating in this fundraising and awareness campaign?
Right, of course. So with any fundraiser or campaign, and especially with the shelter box, we've learned to work with a variety of people and various groups like our Rotary Club and the shelter box to set up events. And of course, we've been running these events at various, like the middle school and the high school. So we've had to interact with the administration. So I definitely think gaining a lot of people and communication skills is a personal skill I've gained. And definitely just organization as well, making sure you have enough volunteers, making sure there are enough activities to be done at our stands so that people are interested in Rotary Club and Interact Club and donating to the shelter box. So communication skills, organizational skills, and finally, just like being able to convince and sell is an important thing. And you really have to make people believe that they can make a difference because, you know, we believe in this cause so much and that they should believe in it too. So that ability to sell and just make that belief that they can make a difference is just an important skill that we've gained as well.
Nice.
And, you know, setting up these events, like there's just so much that goes into it, just like all that logistical skills you can gain. I think it's just been a great experience for all of us at the club to run these events.
Neil, I have to ask you this just for clarification, perspective purposes. I have to ask you, what initially made you gain interest in the West Bloomfield Rotary Interact Club? I want you to use this moment as a time of reflection as to why you joined, but also use it as a moment to sell to others who may have never heard of Interact or may be interested in joining.
Of course, that's great. So I originally joined Interact because I heard about it, and I had so much free time on my hands early in my high school days that I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to volunteer. And, you know, there's always a lot of one-off volunteering events that happen around school that you can do with NHS and NJHS. And I wanted to be making a consistent difference, you know, every single month, being involved in various events. And I wanted to be doing it with people I knew, like that were around my high school and my friends. And I saw Interact Club and I just thought that's perfect for me. I can make a consistent difference. I can be with people I know and have a lot of fun at all of these events. So that's why I joined personally. Now, going on to why I think other people should join. So of course, we offer volunteer hours for all those who need it. But I think a bigger thing, me personally, is that we're allowing a lot of young people to make a difference in their local community, which I don't think a lot of people get that opportunity a lot. And you actually get that, you can make that difference in a variety of ways because we've been partnering with so many different organizations like the Haven Shelter and Hospitality House. And these are all various local community initiatives. And that's just like a great opportunity for anyone who's in the high school. I think that's really a big reason why you should join Interact. Yeah, you can be with your friends, you can gain volunteer hours, but you can also gain valuable connections and make just a great difference in your high school, your local community, and, you know, with the shelter box, even the world.
Oh my God, Neil. You, if I was your parent, I'd be so proud, man. I mean, that speaks to your maturity, sir, to feel like I wasn't doing much with my time, and I want to volunteer with my time instead of it being a one-off. I completely understand. You'll hear about an opportunity for community service or volunteer here and there, but then for that consistency so that you're making sure you're meeting new people, learning new skills, and just dedicating the extra time to helping those in need. I love that, especially in a student like yourself, so young. So kudos to you and your parents and your entire village for raising you with that ideology. Ginger, moving on to you, essentially just want to know, are there any other future plans for the Rotary Club, Rotary Interact Club, that you want to let people know about, how they could possibly get involved, and things of that nature, please?
Well, we have many things with the Rotary Club that we do, delivering meals at Thanksgiving and lots of things like that. But I think it's so important that people are aware of what Rotary does, the camaraderie, the fellowship that we have with one another. And it really helps. I have enjoyed so much being a chair of the Interact Kids. They're learning so much through doing. And when they're doing things, helping people at retirement places, spending time with people in the community. It really is such a valuable experience. So I welcome anyone to visit our Rotary, or if they have children at the high school, look into that, because this group of Interact kids are so wonderful, just like Neil. He is president this year. He's senior, but we need more people coming up to take responsibility and doing activities that are so meaningful.
Right. Couldn't have said it better myself. You have to eventually pass that torch to the younger generation. In order to do that and spark that interest, you have to be able to do things to kind of inspire them and get them motivated to be involved, which we appreciate both of you being here to take that opportunity to inspire others and let people know about the Rotary Club and the West Bloomfield Rotary Interact Club. Once again, from the West Bloomfield Rotary Club member Ginger Winter and West Bloomfield High School student and Rotary Interact Club president Neil Comet, we appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Yes.
And a great information right there from West Bloomfield Rotary Club. If you want to keep up with everything that they're doing, make sure you go to their Facebook page, West Bloomfield Rotary, or go directly to their website, westbloomfieldrotary.org for more. Thank you so much for lending your undivided time, your eyes and ears. I've been your host for today, Kevin McIntosh, representing Civic Center TV. We are live, local, social. It is the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.